Got Jeanette and Bonnie joining us here. And they brought candy, so I'm not going to let you guys go because there might be more stuff in the bag. But you guys just came back, and Kip was away. And gosh, you took a trip with Kip to Italy. There must be stories.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not sure we can share them here.
Do you have pictures of him doing dances on the table or anything?
I couldn't share that with you.
No. But
What happens on the trip stays.
Stays on the trip.
oh,
that's
it's
right.
one of those trips.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
it sounds like it was memorable. What can you share with us?
Well, there were 48 of us that went, and my husband Michael was the trip leader. And we had.
You're so proud. He did a good job.
He
huh?
did a great job.
Yeah.
Perfect trip from beginning to end. 46 travelers with us, and many of them going on a CVOA trip
Yeah.
for the very first time. And we will have a post-trip party where everybody will submit their photos, if they wish, to Sue Myers. And Sue is going to put together a
Real?
yes, of all the pictures from the various trips, because we have 2 more coming up. And then at the library, I believe it's on April 6th, the post-trip party. Is that the date that he told you?
Yes.
And then all of the travelers or anyone interested in traveling with CVOA can submit their suggestions for where the trips might go next year.
Wow. 'Cause
So-
you guys are, they're very, as Kip said, it was very affordable.
Yep.
Because of the numbers that you have and, connections apparently. And some of the trips have sound very interesting. And can you tell us when your next trip is and where you're going?
Bonnie will.
Yes, our next trip is actually heading out to Heavenly Tahoe 2 weeks from Tuesday.
Wow, that's coming right up.
And we have 45 people going on that trip.
Yeah.
And we had our get-together last night, our pre-trip party, when you get to meet the other travelers. I would say about half of those are going on their first CVOA adventure.
Wow.
So that makes it, exciting for them. And some of them that are going actually went on the very first CVOA ski trip about 20 years ago. They went to Fermi.
Oh.
So
I guess
the
it made a mark
tradition-
on them, huh?
Yeah.
Well, it's fun to have a group, that you can
Oh, it
ski with.
is.
right?
It
Very
is,
fun.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, the package that we put together with our travel company, I'll give Ken a plug, GE&E out of Massachusetts. We give him proposals, and he puts a package together, and then the trip leader signs people up and does all the local communication, and then we go from there. So 45 on this trip, and then we have another trip coming up, excuse me, a more local trip going to Quebec in March. Is it in March? No, small print. March 20th to 24th. And that's a road trip.
Road trip.
So people drive up, they stay in Quebec, and then
Ski
they
3 days, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Get your passport out.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, that'll be fun, right?
Yeah.
And so a road trip, and I know you've even done bicycle trips before.
We have.
Yeah.
There's one coming up.
Yeah. Where's that
We're
one?
going to bring it back. We're going to be back up in Quebec City for 2 overnights.
Speaking of
3
Quebec.
days.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's in June.
Again, yep.
Quebec will never be the same.
Well, I think we're going to take over the hotel.
Yeah.
So the dates are in the newsletter, and anybody interested can RSVP and then call the hotel and make their reservations.
The hotel lets you come back too?
Sure.
No,
They really do. Yeah, they like us.
no. Of course I'm kidding.
And we have a brand new kind of trip coming up the end of
Yes.
May.
What is that
And,
one?
well, it's a trip through CVOA, but it's not CVOA sponsored, so it's just a bunch
It's not sanctioned?
No. In other words, people will make their own reservations,
I
but
see.
we're traveling as a group. We have almost 30 people going on an Alaskan cruise
Oh, wow.
through a company called Alaskan Dream Cruises.
Yeah.
It's a company that Captain Kip has actually captained for
Wow.
here and there.
That's great.
So it comes highly recommended. It's called the Last Frontier. So it's a boat, the Chickakoff, that's only 79 passengers, and we almost have half of them.
Wow.
That's great.
The thing about a cruise is that sometimes it's like 5 meals a day, and you go, how ridiculous is that? And then 3 days into it, you're waiting at the door at 11 o'clock at night. Come on, I'm ready for my 5th meal. I got to get out there. Well, that sounds like fun. All of those details are going to be found on your website, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Bonnie is the point person for
Yeah.
the Alaska.
She is a
trip.
cornucopia of information. Well, I love your outfits, and happy Valentine's Day
You
in
too.
advance.
Thank
And we
you.
appreciate all your enthusiasm and all the information. And, you know, a great group to join. A lot of new people have come up here, too, to the area, and you certainly would invite them to join and
Absolutely.
meet some friends. You have more to add.
I
can
have
see.
only one more thing.
I wish you
that
would.
At the range,
Yeah.
I'd like to include the range.
Home on the
we have the
range.
trips, we have the socials, we have the range.
Mm-hmm.
And there's going to be a solar eclipse gathering at the range on April 8th at 3:29 in the
Exactly.
afternoon. Yes, 3:29:58 to be exact.
Mm-hmm.
And they're going to set out the fire pits and tables so we can gather and just watch the eclipse together. So
What do you need to bring? Is there any special equipment you need?
Your your
Lounge
viewing
chair?
glasses.
your viewing glass.
Viewing
Yeah,
glasses.
order them
Yeah.
now so you
Yeah.
have
Yeah,
them.
and you'll probably want to bring your chairs.
And you bring your chair.
Bring a chair and your beverages and
And
snacks.
a Yeti mug with something in it.
Yes.
Well, there you
Probably.
go. Perhaps.
Protect your eyes that way.
Yeah,
You know, they
that's right.
glaze over.
That's right. It happens. Thank you, ladies. Always a pleasure to see you. Thank you for coming out. Hope to
Thank
see you
you,
again soon.
Greg.
Yeah.
Thanks for
Thank
sharing
you.
all this great information and the candy for you too, Andy. Yeah, we're going to take a break. We'll be right back.